Okay, in today's video, we're going to look at our electrical panel inside the house. Some people will put all of their circuits on the inside. Some people will break it up and put their big circuits, meaning the water heater, air conditioning, range, stuff like that. They'll put those on the outside box. I like to just put everything on the inside to keep it simple. So here's the process, what we've already done. Here's some breakers installed, they're empty. This is a neutral bus bar, which is a neutral bus bar. And back here we have a ground bar. You're probably not going to be able to see that on the camera. All of these wires come in different sizes, and they have different quantities of wire. Like a 12-3 will have 3 wires plus a ground. A 12-2 will have 2 wires plus a ground. What we have here is a 12-2. It's got the white, the black, and the ground. Okay, so step one, this line right here actually is my refrigerator. Refrigerator has to have its own circuit for some reason. So here's what you do. It's in the box. It's not super tight, but it's in the box. First thing we're going to do is we're going to strip this wire back so that we can deal with what we have to deal with. Now there's a tool for this that makes this much faster. Matter of fact, this is kind of dangerous cutting towards my finger. I've done it a bunch of times, so I'm kind of safe, but I wouldn't recommend doing this at home. Okay, so I'm not going to cut all of it down. We don't need it all, obviously, so we're going to cut it right here. And I have a bag, trash beneath me. Okay, once you cut the sheath on this, you're going to pull out the wires, and you'll notice that the actual ground wire is naked. It doesn't have a covering on it, but it does have this paper. We want to get rid of all that. So we're going to pull all these wires out, get it going. And this is what's involved in doing an electrical panel. Now, electricians are way faster than me, just so you know. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have them all out through here. Now, I'm going to follow the ground, push the ground wire, which is the naked one here. I'm going to push it to the back of the box with all the other ground wires. You can see that they're all run together. And you kind of have to manipulate this thing in behind some of these wires because you just got to run in order, I suppose. So now I'm going to pull this out through here. I'm going to lay this wire in there nice and neat. Pull it in. There we go, all the way. Now, inside this panel here, there's a little bar, so I marked where my finger, where the wire is going to go, so I'm going to bend it up like that. And I'm just going to cut it off. Cut it off a little bit long so that, there we go, kind of straighten that thing up. Cut it off a little bit long so that there's room to put it in the box. Now we're going to take a screwdriver and we're going to secure this guy. Get him in the hole. There's a little hole over here, you'll see when I get to do the other side. Now, the first few wires that go in these panels are super easy, but anytime you have to come in after the fact where everything is already installed, it's a pain. So this takes care of our ground. Now with the refrigerator, it's not a big circuit, so we don't have to have a big double pole breaker. It's just a regular single 20 amp breaker would be sufficient on this one. Alright, now that that's in place, we're going to go to the white wire and do the exact same thing. We're going to push this white wire over here with the rest of these white wires and kind of follow suit and let it come down here, and you can see we'll let it go just past that other one. I'm going to put my finger right where it needs to be. That way I can grab my pliers here and give it a nice little straight bend. And it looks like I need to come over a couple of inches right there. I'm just going to kind of mark that also with my finger. Give me a little bit extra there. Try to save all my trash. These wires get stripped just a little bit right there. Now, take this wire and get this joker in there. Just like so. Oh, well, it's a little too long. I want to drop down a hole. No, I'm not going to drop down a hole. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so it was just right. There we go. Just perfect. And there's the white wire. Now you see how all these black wires, these are the wires that actually go into the breaker. We don't have to have those in right now. All we really need to make sure of is that everything is safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up just like you see I did with the HVAC there. I'm going to take a piece of this yellow wire, because that was a yellow wire, and pull all that stuff out of it so I can cut a little sheath right here. Now on this sheath I'm going to mark on it refrigerator, and I'll leave it in this panel just like so, so that we know, just like I did the HVAC here, we know that's for the HVAC, this is going to be for the refrigerator. And as we put this panel together, each one of these wires will be run ground to the ground bar, white to the neutral, and the black wire goes to the breaker. In the event that you have a 30 amp breaker, you notice there's two screws here, so you have a black wire that goes in there. On a service like this size, which is a 220 service, they'll have a black wire and a red wire. So you'll have three wires. You'll have a white, a black, and a red. And that's how you put it together. That's just one. I did one, and there's probably 20 in here to do. I've done two then. And that's it. That's how you do it. I'm going to keep going.